YouTube, it's Mortimer, and today I have something different for you guys. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that affects almost everyone I've ever met, and it affects me a great deal, and that is bullying and how to deal with bullying, trolling, whatever you want to call it. It has so many different names these days, but it affects everybody I know, and probably everyone you know as well. And while some people do think that trolling is fun or funny, it all boils down to one thing, and that is trolling is online harassment. No matter which way you cut it, trolling is harassing people, and that's bullying. And it's different though because it's on the internet and it's so much harder to confront. Like I know, for instance, everybody always says, ignore a troll and they'll go away, or don't read the comments. But that doesn't work, it's insane, the amount of hate a person can get. And it's just not something that's been documented before these days. There isn't one person I know who doesn't get trolled or harassed daily, especially people in the online community, people who are in gaming, comedy, anything that's religion-based. They seem to get the most hate out of any group. And then inside of those groups, you will get harassed even more if they're women, and then doubly if they're of different ethnicities, of different sexual orientations. Each group gets harassed. And I mean, there's varying levels of how much harassment you get, but the one thing I've noticed is that no matter what, there's always going to be people out there who hate you and always want to take you down. And there's really not much on the internet these days as a way to stop that from happening. There have been numerous times where I've reported to websites of someone harassing me, creating multiple accounts to attack me, and it's not so much that it bothers me as I just want it to stop, and I have reported things numerous times, and majority of the times I'm just told, oh, well, there's not enough resources here for us to make a case against this person or something like that. It's just not regulated enough. People just don't know enough about internet bullying these days. And there's so many kids out there who have, seriously harmed themselves or killed themselves or others because of the bullying that they're put through because people think that it's fun or it's funny. And it's not. People say all the time, you're on the internet, you should be used to this by now, or if you can't take it, get off the internet and stuff like that. But why do we say that? Why can't you get off the internet, Why is that considered normal for the internet? Why can't people just be nice to each other? It's not normal in everyday conversation for somebody to say such terrible, mean things to you or about you. Why is it normal for people to say online? And I believe it's only because people say that it's normal online, We just need to accept that that's not normal behavior, and why is it being accepted? I really don't understand that, and I think it's something that we'll figure out further down the line as we find out more about people who use the internet for so many hours a day and do more research into it. There's definitely going to be a whole new lot of psychological disorders discovered, I bet, for people who have to deal with this kind of stuff. It's just not normal, You work online every day, you build up such a huge set of armor to deal with this. And, sure, yeah, comments don't bother me anymore. I could get the most mean comment, but there's always that one subject that's going to be your Achilles tendon and just break your heart. No matter what you do, there's always that one comment. And, it all comes down to, why is this person doing this? What do they get out of this? Whether it's just a comment about how you look, which has nothing to do with what you're talking about, to a comment about what you're talking about, something that you may be passionate about, and a person trying to take you down for liking what you like. These things are not nice. And often they're upvoted and liked and shared, and, people post replies that are encouraging. I just don't understand why it's so encouraged to be mean to people. When did this become a thing? Was it just when the internet started? Is it anonymity? People who are being able to be anonymous? I don't understand. And everyone I know has to deal with this. And it's just something that's really hard to deal with. You don't really know what to say to somebody, when they tell you that they're dealing with being bullied, A friend of mine has a younger sister in school right now, And I found out that she actually did not want to go to school because she was being bullied so badly by the other kids in her school. And it broke my heart because this girl is the most sweet, sweet little girl in the world. And the reason why this girl is bullying her was because she's weird. And that is the most insane logic I could ever think of for bullying somebody. Freaking everybody's weird. You're weird for thinking that somebody's weird. Where does this logic come from? And there's been so much research done into bullying, and it comes from the fact, usually, that the bully is taking out their insecurities of themselves on other people. And it's really weird to look at. There's a case out online by Lindy West. She wrote an article about a troll who pretended to be her father, who had died previously, and was attacking her through that. And eventually, her troll kind of became remorseful and apologized to her and talked to her openly about like why he did it. And it all came from him hating himself and not being happy with himself, and seeing her be so happy and full of love for herself and loving what she did that he had to bring her down for it. And he picked a woman in particular because they're easy targets. And I found that incredibly insane. I'm going to link that article down below for you guys to read because it is super insightful and a super interesting article to read. But it all comes down to, why do these people do this? Why is it socially acceptable on the internet but not in real life? And how can we make this stop? And I don't think it's ever going to stop. Bullying has been around for years. It's just found a new way to evolve into trolling on the internet now. I think eventually it will stop when people start finding newer ways to prosecute and take down people who are doing all of this online bullying. I think eventually there will be laws passed for harassment, stalking, all kinds of things that can be traced back to this. Because essentially it is stalking in some cases, and it's just not okay. I don't know why people think it's okay, but the people who are usually doing the trolling usually have some sort of mental disorder, and they need help for it. And hopefully these cases and, talking about this will get people help. Trolling is a recreational abuse, and bullying is just a way of making yourself feel better temporarily. So what do you do if you're being bullied? If you're being bullied in real life, and whether it's at school, at work, or whatever, you need to tell somebody, first of all. You need to go to your teacher, to your parent, your guardian, whoever, and tell them about it. And if the abuse gets to a point where they're actually being physical with you, then you need to start going to the police and making case reports. And it's really labor intensive to start a case about somebody, but it's worth it in the end if you have to. But always tell somebody, because you never know. If it's someone in your class who's been harassing you, and depending on what they're doing, maybe it's appropriate for them to be moved to another school. Maybe they need specialized care where they can learn how to deal with this on their own. Maybe they have anger problems that they need help with. There are certain schools that deal in that, you might actually be doing them a service. And it's definitely doing you a service, and you could be helping out other kids. You never know, because you might not be the only person that they're bullying. People say sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That is a lie, and we should stop saying that, because words do hurt. Words hurt worse than sticks and stones ever would. I promise you that. That saying, don't ever say it. Stop passing it around. That saying is just garbage. I have been bullied and trolled my entire life. From stupid things, from being a twin, people thinking it's weird, to even now being bullied for, liking or not liking one thing. No matter what you say, you're always going to make someone unhappy. And that just, leads you to the point that no matter what you do, there's always going to be one person out there who dislikes you for it, and there's nothing you can do to make that person happy. What should you do if someone's bullying you online or trolling you? The best case scenario is just to block them. I know it's kind of in the vein of just ignore them and they'll go away, but that doesn't really work in trolling. If you ignore them, they keep doing it, and then they start getting their friends involved in it, and soon after a while, everything will be all people trolling because they think it's funny and they see it's accepted there. It's the whole broken window theory. The broken window theory is that, say you go up to a building and you see that none of the windows are broken, you're not going to throw a brick through a window. But if you go to a building and you see that a window is broken from someone throwing a brick in at it, you're going to think it's okay to throw bricks at that house. You're going to start throwing bricks out and breaking the windows and thinking it's okay. So same thing kind of goes with comments. If you see somebody who has, mean negative comments on their video or their wall post or something, you're going to feel more enabled to leave a bad comment as well. So if you get rid of these bad comments, people will start to see that it's not okay and maybe hold their tongue. And this has proven true. I actually block anybody who leaves harassing comments on my videos, on my Tumblr, anywhere, Twitter, you name it. If they're harassing me or somebody else, I will block you. It's just end of the line. I've only had one person ever come to me and be like, you blocked me for the wrong reason. And sure enough, I went back and looked at the message they had sent me, and it was for no reason. That person definitely deserved to be blocked. So if you're blocked by me for any reason, now you know why. I do not stand for harassment or bullying. It's no tolerance on my area, it's just not gonna happen here. But yeah, if someone's bullying you online, block them. Now, it's not so hard to make another account and do it again, but it is tedious. So if you just keep blocking them, it's only one button click compared to someone going through pages and pages. And if it gets to the point where it's just too much, just start screen capping it, start taking IP address logs, send it to whoever it is the website you're running is, and they'll look into blocking their IP address. And I definitely recommend that. I mean, if it gets to that point when someone's escalating how much they're harassing you, then it's about time to start bringing it to the authorities anyways and collect your plethora of data and bring it to them. The more people who report online harassment, the more and sooner we're going to see new laws and new regulations for it. And unfortunately, things like that do look like they would take away anonymity from the internet, but in some cases it's not a bad thing. In some cases, yeah, it's a terrible thing. It'll take away a lot of creativity on the internet. But at the same time, it'll save so many lives from people being bullied to death. I do think that people should be able to be anonymous online, but I do think that trolling needs to stop. So definitely report, block, do everything you can, but most importantly, don't let it get under your skin. People like this do it for fun. They're doing it because they don't realize that you're a person. They don't see you as a person, and they don't realize what they're doing. And if they knew how badly they were really hurting you, they wouldn't do it. I guarantee you. I mean, sure, there's some people that really genuinely want to hurt you. But that's because they hate themselves and they just are unhappy that you're so happy. I mean, it stems from jealousy at the end of it all. So just don't let it bother you and instead feel bad for them, because they're the ones who end up hating themselves at the end of the day. So I hope this helps somebody out there. I know somebody's gonna hate this video, but make one that's better. If you have any other tips that you would like to share about how to deal with bullies or trolls or anything like that, share them down below. I'm gonna check them out. I would love to hear what you guys have to say and start kind of a discussion down below in the comments about how you deal with bullies, stories you've had of bullies, things like that. And I want to see what you guys had to say and how you deal with it. If someone in your life has helped you in a different way that you haven't seen someone else being helped before, definitely let me know. I want to know these things, and it's such a new frontier out there on the internet. Nobody knows anything about it, so the more information we share, the more we know. So if you guys have any questions or anything, leave those down below as well. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I have so many more awesome videos coming your guys' way that you don't want to miss. And I'll see you guys all next time, and hopefully it won't be such a sad and drab video. Bye, everybody!